Long ago in Kono district, hidden between the misty hills and the green valley of Nimikoro, lay a secret cave. Inside that cave slept the living diamond of Sierra Leone, a gem so radiant that ordinary eyes could barely behold its beauty. It was said the diamond sang in moonlit nights, whispering ancient songs to the winds. The cave's entrance was covered by hanging vines, and the entrance glowed faintly when the moon was full. Villagers spoke softly of the diamond, as if speaking too loudly might scare it away. In Caima village, hardship weighed heavy. Poverty, disease, and drought had left the people weary. One night, a 12-year-old girl named Seer King, tall for her age, with smooth cocoa-brown skin and tightly coiled black hair, dreamed of glowing spirits. They whispered, "Find the cave between hills and valley. Water lives where hope hides." African proverb, hope tells us to look for water even in a desert. At dawn, Sia rushed to the circular meeting under the great baobab. The elders, white-haired and wizened, listened as she spoke. Chief Tamba Kortu, with his deep voice, said, "A child's dream is like a lantern. It may light the darkest path." They prepared Sia, a leather satchel, a calabash of water, a small cloth with protective herbs, and blessings for her journey. The whole village gathered, drumming and singing gentle chants of protection. Mothers pressed beads into Sia's hair, and fathers adjusted her sandals. Her heart pounded like a drum, but with each farewell hug, she remembered the proverb, "The child who carries hope carries his village on his back." She stepped forward, the red earth path leading into the shadowed forest, her eyes bright with determination and wonder. Sia entered Nimikoro's dense forest with her satchel on her back and her mother's necklace around her neck. The forest was alive with chattering insects, rustling leaves, and distant calls of monkeys. As she walked, sunlight danced through the giant palm fronds. On the first day, a coiling python barred her path, scales shimmering like a waterfall. She recalled her grandmother's words, "Speak truth to a snake, and it may let you pass." Gathering her courage, Sia bowed and said, "I journey for my village's heart and hope." The python slowly uncoiled and slithered aside, hissing softly in respect. The next challenge came from whispering trees with gnarled roots. Their branches creaked like ancient voices offering the wrong way, leading toward a deep, dark swamp. Sia shut her eyes, covered her ears, and trusted the position of the sun. "Even the crooked tree stands tall in the forest," she whispered, stepping forward until the trees fell silent. As days passed, large walking stones began to shuffle across her route, their rocky forms blocking narrow paths. Remembering another proverb, "Singing sends darkness away," Sia sang her grandmother's lullaby. The stones stopped, swayed, and then moved to the side as if enchanted by her voice. Late one afternoon, a flock of brilliantly colored birds circled overhead, their feathers flashing red and gold, distracting Sia. They chirped confusing directions. Patiently, she threw handfuls of millet seeds to ground, and as the birds scrambled to feed, she slipped behind them and resumed her journey. The most dangerous trial arrived under a half-moon, when spirits in human shape emerged. They offered her an easy path home if she handed over all she carried. Sia stood firm in the silver light. "Better a little truth than a mountain of lies," she said. Their forms dissolved into mist, and the air cleared around her. Each morning, Sia awoke under towering palm trees, sipping water and recalling her village's hope. She remembered, "Where the land meets the sky, your dream will come alive." With each sunrise, her spirit grew stronger, her steps surer, and her heart steadier on the path toward her destiny. On the 29th day, Sia reached a hidden cave entrance draped in glowing vines. She paused, gathering breath. Pushing aside the vines, she stepped into a chamber lit by shimmering crystals embedded in the walls. 7 glowing spirits, tall, gentle, and luminous, emerged, their robes flowing like water. They stood in a circle, softly chanting, "We rise on wings of light." At the center, atop a carved crystal pedestal, lay the living diamond. It pulsed like a heartbeat, casting dancing rainbows across Sia's face. She felt its warmth fill her chest. A guardian spirit spoke, voice like wind through reeds. "Child of Caima, you have shown courage, wisdom, and faith. This diamond is the soul of our land." Behind the spirits, the cave walls revealed murals of ancestors, dancers, hunters, chiefs, who had protected the diamond across ages. As Sia knelt to lift the gem, she felt a surge of joy and responsibility. The diamond's glow intertwined with her spirit, and memories of her village's hardships and hopes filled her mind. The spirits formed a protective circle around her as they guided Sia back the way she came. The trees bowed gently at her passage, and streams whispered blessings. She carried the diamond close, its heartbeat syncing with her own. One spirit whispered, "When your heart beats for your people, even stones will rise to greet you." Sia felt tears of gratitude, for she knew this moment would change her village forever. Sia's return to Caima was both triumphant and troubled. Word spread like wildfire through the red earth alleys. Some rushed out in celebration, while others eyed her warily. In the central square under the baobab, voices rose in argument. Sar mocked Sia's trials, saying trusting dreams was foolish. Some villagers agreed, worrying the diamond was a danger that might anger the spirits. Others, remembering their legends, stood by Sia, insisting unity would save the village. An elder reminded the crowd, "A silent drum still hears its beat." Slowly, some villagers bowed their heads, their skepticism replaced by whispers of faith. That evening, Chief Tamba Kortu drummed his staff for silence. He promised a vision at sunrise that would settle their hearts. Under the glowing diamond, the village waited, the night alive with both tension and expectation. Chief Tamba Kortu slept by the baobab tree, diamond's soft glow at his feet. In his dream, Sia and the seven spirits soared over the village, casting beams of light that healed parched fields and opened new wells. He saw dried riverbeds fill with water and heard the laughter of children echo like birdsong. At dawn, the chief awoke, heart pounding with purpose. He climbed the hill where Sia began her journey. After 6 hours of prayer and reflection, he felt a warm breeze lift him from the ground. Carried by unseen wings, he rose into the sky until he found Sia and the guardians waiting. They greeted him in chorus, "Chief of hearts, the diamond chose you too." He knelt humbly, and a spirit whispered, "He who leads with faith wears no crown." The chief felt humility and courage blend in his chest. When they descended, the villagers gasped. Even Sahargbori fell silent. The chief raised the diamond, and light spilled across the square, shining on every face. "Tonight, we witnessed truth beyond words," the chief declared, restoring faith where doubt once dwelled. That morning, young men formed a search party, torches in hand, marching toward the hills. But as they approached the baobab, an unbelievable sight greeted them. Every hut, every cloth, every face in Caima shimmered with soft light. The fields glowed green, and water in clay pots sparkled like stars. A deep voice rang out, "Men, women, and children, your deliverance and glory have arrived." Lightning flickered gently, not in fury, but in blessing. In a burst of brilliance, Chief Kortu and Sia descended at the center, the living diamond held aloft. Light flowed like liquid, healing wilted crops and mending broken hearts. Children ran into the fields, giggling as blossoms sprouted in their footprints. Old grudges melted. "Rain does not fall on one roof alone," they whispered. The villagers, united in awe, raised hands in thanksgiving. They danced and sang until stars faded with the dawn. For a full month, Caima and the lands beyond rejoiced. Chorus and drums filled dawn and dusk. Dancers in vibrant cloth spun under lantern-lit trees, their spins like whirling suns. Tables groaned with feasts, rice, yams, stews rich with spices, and sweet plantains. Children, old and young, chased fireflies turned into floating lanterns by the diamond's glow. Storytellers recounted Sia's journey, and elders nodded, teaching new proverbs. One night, Sar Gabori's house collapsed in a shower of dust. Villagers gasped, but Sar stepped from the rubble unhurt, tears streaming down his cheeks. He knelt before Sia. "I asked for proof," he said, "and found my own heart." Forgiveness was offered, and unity was sealed. Sia placed the diamond on its high altar. Its glow bathed everyone. She spoke softly. "Even the hardest heart can be softened by truth." A new proverb was born that night. "Truth is the light that melts steel." News of Caima's miracle reached the president's ears. Pilgrims traveled dusty roads to see the living diamond. In Caima, new wells bubbled clear, schools opened their doors, and clinics offered care. Young women learned to read and write, farmers planted diverse crops, and forests were replanted along rivers. Sia, now a young woman with eyes bright as the diamond, was sent overseas to study medicine. From afar, she sent letters home. Dreams guide nations if we follow them with courage. Those letters inspired other villages to believe. And so, the tale of the living diamond of Sierra Leone lived on in every home. Children heard it by firelight. Elders nodded in understanding. Whenever someone dared to dream, they remembered Sia's journey. Sierra Leone was no longer known for blood diamonds but celebrated for its living, blessed treasure. If this story blessed you, please subscribe, like, and share. God bless you.